Okay, so welcome to all of you. This is the opportunity for you to discover the ETFL. I guess you already went through a few places. And so this meeting is for me the occasion to meet you and for you to ask questions. This is essentially for that. I will pass now a few slides presenting a few things, information which maybe you already know all of what's inside, maybe not all of you, but this is also from some of you who have until now asked me per email some questions. So I try to gather a few of the main points so that we are all on the same page. So that's it. So let me now share my screen. For the people who are now online, because we are now online as well, you can intervene. During my presentation, it's difficult for me to watch the chat or whatever. You can type things on the chat while I'm presenting if you have questions, or you can intervene, just shout in your microphone. I will not unmute and shout. Shout, I mean, speak up. And or write on the chat, and then when my presentation is over, I can also look at the chat and pick up your questions, so that each of us can benefit from the others. Okay, so let me introduce myself. My name is Laurent Villard. I am the exchange coordinator for the physics section. Besides this, which is one of my tasks, I teach and I do research in the Swiss Plasma Center, which is one of the institutes of ETFL. It's actually one of the largest one. It is the laboratory, or it's actually a center, research center, which hosts the largest experiment on this campus, which is the tokamak. So we do research on controlled nuclear fusion in this laboratory. I am more on the theory and numerical simulation side. Well, if you have any questions also related to that, we can informally have a chat, no problem. Yeah. So just as an information, there is an information for students, new students who would like to perhaps do the master in nuclear engineering, or simply the new master who are not exchange but who have a bachelor from another university. So it's not the case of either of you. So just to tell you that in case the information sessions take place just across the corridor in those CE 100 and 101. Okay, so none of you is in this situation. I know there are any possibilities. Okay, good. So to contact me is easiest. So I'm here down there. This is a aerial view of the campus. I'm down there. The lake would be the bottom. Yeah, that's the direction of the lake. We are now here, and you have already walked through part of the things. You have these things which looks like a Emmental cheese, Swiss cheese, the Rolex Center, so to speak, which is one of the landmarks of this campus. Okay, and you have other addresses. By the way, you will have the link to the slides. The slides will be put shortly after this meeting, will be put somewhere on the website of the physics section, and our secretary, Valérie Scherer-Businger, will send you the link. So, because they are active links, so you don't need to take note. Okay, so one of the things that you have to do, for many of you, it's already done. For some of you, there are still things which might be of interest to you. Just the first point I want to make, it's pretty obvious, but sometimes it's forgotten. You can choose any courses, but it must be approved by your home institution. It's your home institution which will decide whether program of courses that you take here is acceptable to them as equivalence. They will make the equivalent. We will not. We provide you course, we provide you accesses to courses. You can apply virtually to any course on this campus, almost. There are exceptions. I will come back to that in a moment. So we are responsible to teach you and evaluate you also. And you as an exchange student will be submitted to the same rules as our home students for what concerns the exams, for what concerns the scale of the marks, the pass mark, and so on and so forth. But you are not submitted to the rules of our students for the choice of courses. You are not constrained to choose the official program of the physics section of EPFL. You have much more freedom. Okay, and also we have for our own students, the curriculum is organized in blocks of branches where you do certain averages between certain branches. We will not apply this for you. We will just give you the exam, the number of credits, the mark, and you will receive just that. And with this, you will go to your home university and ask them to validate the credits. Okay, having spoken about credits, so if you come from Europe, you know what is ECTS, the European Credit Transfer System. If you come from outside Europe, this is just a system, a kind of a normalization of the system of credits. 1 full year is 60 ECTS. 1 full year full-time in an academic institution is 60. So that facilitates the recognition of the different programs between the different universities. So what I was saying a minute ago is that you are allowed in principle to take any course offered on any bachelor or master curriculum of any section. This is valid for you who take mainly courses in physics. You can take courses in math in principle. You can take courses in chemistry or, yes, provided some courses have a limit of participation. And that's the case for many laboratories. They either will completely forbid you to participate because of limited number of places. And two masters are really not accessible. That's the master in financial engineering or the master in management technology. This is unfortunately not open to you, but still it gives you plenty of freedom, I would say, of choosing hopefully the courses that match as best the requirement from your university and also your own taste. Yeah? So don't forget to register for the courses you have selected. And by register, this is on this portal, which is called IS Academia. I guess you all have information on how to do it, right? Technically. I could not explain it to you, by the way. But the deadline is Friday, 1st of October. So this is 2 weeks after the start of the semester. You can still choose your courses. After that, we really would not like that you change in the middle of a semester. But we allow you, there's the same rule for our home students, by the way. You have 2 weeks to decide. Maybe you go to a course and you say, no, that's really, this course looks on paper very nice, but it's actually not what I wanted, not what I expected. And you change. You still have the freedom to choose it, but don't forget to do it. And don't forget also to deregister for the courses that you don't want to attend anymore. Yeah? So that we can. Okay, here is. If you want to have a global view of our curricula and study plans, these are links. You just select here, and you can browse through or find IDs and so on and so forth. You can not only do the physics program, but you can do also the math and the chemistry and others. Yes, look at other sections, mechanical engineering and so on, whatever. This might give you maybe some hints or some interesting ideas. For example, in mechanical engineering, just comes to my mind, they have several courses in fluid dynamics, which are offered by the mechanical engineering department, but it's actually part of physics also. Yeah, like turbulence in fluids, which might be of interest to you. So yeah, just as an example. There are so many examples that I don't want to spend the whole meeting here talking about that, just that it is a possibility. There are links to course descriptions in these links. It contains information about the language in which the courses are taught. Most of our bachelor level courses are taught in French, and all our master level courses are taught in English. But there are many exceptions. At least at the bachelor level, some courses are already taught in English. Everybody on the campus will speak enough English so that you are able to interact. But of course, the support material for many of these bachelor courses will be in French. Of course, you always have the textbooks in English also, but say, yeah, this is maybe a difficulty, but that's maybe also one of the reasons that motivated you to come here, is to learn French. Maybe. So okay, that's it. So sorry for the ones of you who are at the master level. The courses will be in English, in bad English. I mean, most of us are not native English speakers, but okay. Anyway, it's worth having a look at the academic calendar for deadlines and so on and so forth with this link. Okay. So now a special word about lab and project or semester projects, because there are some specialties or a few things that I need to explain to you, perhaps. I had some questions regarding this. At the master level, we have research projects or semester projects, which are conceived as one day of work per week that is spent actually in the physics laboratory, in one of the physics labs that we have. So it's really, you are embedded into a research environment. You will be supervised by PhD student, postdoc, senior researchers, professors, whatever, in the lab. And they give you project which lasts for one semester, which you can eventually continue the next semester. And the way to access this is for you to know which lab interests you, which topic interests you. This, we cannot do this work at your place, so you have to think about, okay, is it astrophysics, is it plasma physics, is it quantum field theory, is it particle physics, experimental, numerical, computational, whatever. And you can browse through our research pages in our website to have an idea at least of this. And then it works by you contacting the head of the lab, or eventually one of your professors, if you take a course, say, in, I don't know, advanced quantum physics, and you want to do a lab in theory. There is a lab in theory. It's called lab, but it's theoretical work. It exists. And then you contact him or her and ask whether they have a topic to propose. Okay, that's for the master level. At the bachelor level, I know some of you in your university, you have something which is called a bachelor project. We don't have this in our curriculum. So if you need that, the procedure in this case is a bit similar as for TP4. Namely, you have to identify a lab of interest and then contact you have to contact, and you have to explain that you are looking for the nickname that all professors know, or physics professors know, for this kind of semester project is TP4. So you will tell them that you look for a TP-like project, but you are still at the bachelor level. And also you have to tell them how many ECTS credits you are supposed to have, so that the professor can, gauge the size and difficulty of the project in accordance with the number of credits. And on IS Academia, it's maybe not visible immediately, That's the code name EPFL 301, and it's called Specific Project for Exchange or Visiting Student. On IS Academia, you have to register here. Yes. Laboratory 3A is not open, exactly, for example. Not open to exchange students. For if you are at the bachelor level and do something specific which is not in our study plans, we open the door to this. But first, you need the agreement of a professor here who allows you in his or her lab. Yes. Procedure is similar. Just I think this TP4, I think it is open. Yes. Yes, exactly. Yes. It's questioned the laboratory 3A or B is really it's question of space. It's a set of experiments, dedicated experiments in a dedicated room. So it's really, and the number of physics students has so much increased in the past years that they are really completely squeezed. Yes. No, I had this discussion with them, but they really can't. I mean, it's just physically impossible, unfortunately. Sorry. So a project in a lab is also interesting, but check with your home university whether this format is acceptable to them. I hope yes. I think it's even perhaps more interesting. But the challenge is to find such a place, because our professors are not used to have so young students. I mean, at the bachelor level, still do kind of a So it's TP4 like, you can tell them, but it's tell them that you are at. You can then discuss in more detail which courses that you have already followed, and so that they know better what they can give to you. Yes. Okay. Other questions from the audience? As you know, nothing on the chat, and nothing. I hope it works. I don't know. Okay, so the important dates is the date of this semester, so it lasts until the day before Christmas. Incredible, but it's like that until December 24th. Just to tell you that next Monday, if you don't know it, it's a public holiday here. So the campus will be closed. It starts on Tuesday. Yes, a question? The question is, I repeat for those who are online, the question is, what happens if there is an overlap in the schedule of two courses? And yeah, I would say it's a challenge, definitely, because you have to choose. Maybe you go 1 week out of two, every other week to one or the other of this course, and you have to catch up. Maybe now the advantage of the pandemic is that we all have to record our courses. We have online material, but it's not the same. To be honest, I mean, you know it. You all lived online, partly online in the past 2 years, so you know it's not the same. It's never the same as being there, interacting with your colleagues and so on. So I think there is no automatic blockage when you register to such course. There is no cross-check from the IS Academia, at least until now, to cross-check that the timetable would overlap. This is again something I would. Yes, it really depends. I mean, some courses are really hard, difficult, and if these are two essential courses, maybe discuss with your home university supervisor also for advice in this case. Attendance is checked for the labs. So the labs, you have to be there. It's pretty obvious. In any format, it's obvious that if you ask for a TP4 or this special project that you go. And if you cannot go for any reason, you inform the person with whom you interact. And otherwise, frankly speaking, we never record or check the presence. No. But it's better to. I would be quite open with also your professors. Tell them, because this happens also for our own students, because especially the master level, we have so many options that necessarily there's almost always some overlap somewhere. I mean, this happens almost all the time. So we are somehow used, but you should not exaggerate. If it is, say, just two courses that overlap for 1 or 2 hours in your week, I would say, okay, sounds to me feasible. But if every course overlaps with some other, then my advice would be no. That's and anywhere in between these two extremes is, I don't know. It's really it's your responsibility in the end. Yeah. From our side, we will not prevent you administratively speaking to register to such program. Yes. Yes. Hmm. You need. I think we are used for this TP4. Maybe I should put back the slide. So the question is, are there prerequisites for this TP4, the lab? Huh? I'm talking about this one. Bachelor project, you probably don't want to do quantum field theory. Probably not. I don't know, unless you have by miracle already followed. But say so. This concerns more master students. Our students have not followed quantum field theory also. So it's the same situation, but you probably want to follow this course at the same time. So the corresponding course. That's all professors will tell you the same. Any topic that you take here, that's by the way also valid here to some extent, but at least here you need to take the courses that correspond. But it's not a prerequisite, because our students do this TP4 while having the courses. Yeah, so they will have had quantum physics, yes, courses in the previous year, or statistical physics, or condensed matter physics, or solid state physics, and so on and so forth. And they will have had classical electrodynamics, so the classical field theory, if you wish, the classical, but not the quantum field. No, don't. For example, it's better anyway. The advice, in general, is to tell the person whom you will contact what you have had as the previous courses, and then it's a discussion. And yeah, another. Sorry. Yes. So now, because of the pandemic, we are obliged to record. Yes. The situation has evolved, especially in the last few days. Really, days. We were hoping to have a full normal start, namely all in presence. And now it seems it's not the case, because cases are high and vaccinations are too low in Switzerland. I mean, unfortunately. So, and intensive care units are pretty full, I would say. So there is a kind of delicate situation. So that's why, and you are all aware that you will have. Okay, that's something I forgot to mention, but you probably already know. So you will have to have the COVID certificate to come. So now it's not a problem if you come from Europe, because the European certificate, and if you have a certificate, that's accepted. Yeah. If you come from outside of Europe, that happens for two colleagues, our colleagues who have just come from, I don't know, Canada or Mexico or China or whatever. They have been vaccinated, but they don't have a certificate. I don't know if anybody of you is in this situation that it's difficult. Maybe some colleagues online are. I don't know what will happen. This is really a very fluid situation. I hope that the EPFL will be more lenient, say, to accept, for example, the vaccinations that are not officially approved in Switzerland. In Switzerland, we have just three. The two Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna, which are applied, and Johnson & Johnson is also approved, but not the others. It's a kind of schizophrenic situation, because if you have been vaccinated with the AstraZeneca in Europe and have the European certificate, it is accepted. But if you have been vaccinated with AstraZeneca and come from Canada, it's not. Don't ask me why. And I hope this school is clever enough to accept such cases. I hope they will do some exceptions. That's really my hope, because really it would be counterproductive, in my opinion, to bar any of you just because of these little bit strange statements. You can always be tested, but again, about testing, the rule as I speak, but maybe it's wrong, because there is, as I speak, our Federal Council is announcing new measures. So I don't know. Yes. Yes. The groups, I mean, for the labs, or? Of course. Okay. Really? I have no idea. I have no idea, frankly speaking. It's and at the level of the timetable, really, that you have groups. I didn't know that. Okay. Right. Oh, yes, I think you have to go, but yeah, you have to choose. I mean, if they overlap at the first week, I mean, it's a difficult situation for you. But you should really ask. I don't know what these groups mean, because last year, 1 year ago, we had groups A, B, C for the present, because we had partly opened the campus only and allowing 1/3 of the students at a time. Remember, we had no vaccinations. So to reduce the density on the campus, so there were groups A, B, or C, yes. And maybe it's a remnant of this, but now we don't have groups. I don't know what this means, really. I have no idea. Which course is it? Do you remember? Europe, yeah. The physics of plasma with groups? I don't know. Very strange. But three different and three groups. Yes. Oh, this I don't know, but normally, I mean, you could have 2 hours of lecture on Monday and 2 hours of exercises on Friday. Why not? Yes. But this is all the same course. This is not a different course. This is the same course, which happens split over the week in this case. Okay, maybe if you have a question, you can drop me an email after and sort it. Again, it's better to sort directly with the professor, but yes.
Yeah. Is it possible to take these two people like a different department? So, for example, I like doing that.
Ah,
So if I want to
okay.
take care
and mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
Okay, this I don't know. That's the only thing I don't know. It's a good point, because I think for our students at least, but again, it's our students, they have to choose a lab. I mean, it must be approved by a professor of the section of physics. So I don't know in this case for a semester project EP4. I have no idea, to tell you the truth. There are a few masters which are open to our students officially, like there is a master in computational science and engineering, for example, where you can also have a look. Yeah? And in this case, yeah, they also have semester projects which look very much like TP4. To this, you have access again. For this, for the mechanical engineering, I'm not so sure. That's sorry. Yeah. Oh yes, thank you. Yes, so we have a question. So what is the process if you have one of the other vaccines as AstraZeneca? So the process, I'm sorry, I'm not specialist of this, but I think it's very important, of course, for you to know what is. If you have had the vaccine from a European country and have the European certificate, whether it's the French, Italian, whatever, this is recognized in Switzerland. So no problem, even if it is AstraZeneca. If you had the AstraZeneca, but from another country, come from another country, you will not have the certificate. So for the moment, you have to ask. Oh, maybe I should have a look, because there was this case. No, that was different. That was someone not from the EU, but he was vaccinated with 1 dose of Pfizer and 1 dose of Moderna. Okay, you have so many cases. In the end, miraculously, he just I just received the email a few hours ago, he received a Swiss COVID certificate, but he had to apply. There is a place where you can ask for, send an email or phone or whatever, explain your situation. You need, in any case, the proof of your vaccination with a stamp and signature of the, say, the lab that has provided you the vaccination. And with this, I really hope, and that's maybe one of the things which will be announced today, I really hope that officially becomes possible to have the equivalent. And I hope that at least EPFL allows these things. Even if the government does not, EPFL is free to, have its own rules. Huh? So I really hope that in such cases, it's not a problem. But I know there are so many situations. Maybe some of you have just had 1 dose somewhere of the AstraZeneca, for example, in France, and you want the 2nd dose. So if you come really from France, the advice would be go back to France to have the 2nd dose, and then you will have the certificate. Because here we cannot provide you with the 2nd dose of AstraZeneca, we don't have it. If you come from further afield, yeah, you don't want to travel the globe just for this. So really, I'm really sorry that it's such a complicated thing. I hope really this is the last year that we have such a thing. Depends how many people will get the vaccination in the end, because this will end only when enough people have it. Anyway, so sorry, I cannot really reply to the question online, but okay. Other questions for this, for the projects? So I don't know why it doesn't work now. Oh yeah. Yes, I was at the important date. So semester up to Christmas, the public holiday. Okay, the last deadline, and also the deadline is a little bit over that. The problem is the following. I mean, it's not a big problem, but nevertheless, when you register for a course, you are automatically registered for the corresponding exam. Okay, so if you want to change your mind and okay, this course I don't want anymore, and you don't attend the exam, then you will have an A or 0 on your transcript, which looks bad. Maybe you can explain it, but maybe look not so good. So if you really withdraw, you should do it officially on IS Academia on your portal, so that you are really off the hook, so to speak. We have the exam period for the autumn semester. That's in from mid-January to early February, and the spring semester will start in February until June, and again the deadlines are anyway. Okay, but the important thing is really this one. Deregister, and the deadline is November 26th for withdrawing from the exam. Okay. Now the bad points, the bad news. It's valid. The examination rules are the same for you as for any other students. Yeah, I mean our home students, so to speak. So you have the rule for all is that the students have 2 attempts per course. If you forget to cancel your registration, it will count as 1 failed attempt. So don't do it. If you fail, you will, in practice, have to do the branch at your home university, because here we don't offer the possibility to do an exam to resit the exam right after, or say just the week after, or 2 weeks after, or shortly after the official exam period. It's not possible. It's not offered to our students, and unfortunately, it's not offered to you. So you must know this is a very tough rule, especially for you exchange students, but this practically means that you have just 1 attempt, and if you fail this attempt, then you will have to redo the equivalent branch at your home university. And maybe your home university allows you to take exam, but it does not concern us anymore. This is really a bit tough, and but that's it. You should know that the form of the exam is written exam or oral exam. We have many oral exams, and I know from many universities it's not usual to have oral exams. So yeah, that's it. Or for a few courses, you have things to do during the semester. This form of the exam is indicated in the course description, so you know what form of the exam it is. Also, the language is also indicated. So even if the language is officially French, you can ask your professor to be allowed to reply in English. It will be accepted, but you have to ask. Simply ask for permission. I do it automatically. For example, in my course, I don't mind if someone writes a report in English. That's perfectly fine. Yes. Yes, you should. I think the answer is yes, but ask your professor first. Yes. By the time you will be in the January, you will learn maybe enough French to be able. But I know it's maybe a difficulty. Yeah. Yeah. Although most of it's mainly I should not say. At the master level, I think almost all exams are oral exams. At the master level, at the bachelor level, it's I don't know, mixed situation. Okay. Okay, so you have this list of, this long list. I don't want to read through this, but you have different groups and different labs. So you have really dozens of labs with, anything going from quantum optics to advanced semiconductors to accelerator physics to structural biology, biophysics. We have quite a broad research spectrum, I would say, in our Institute of Physics. So you can browse through and just to. Okay, so we already had a few questions, but I will allow more time. Of course, after when I'm over. But before taking up your questions, there is an important message which has to be given to all students who come to EPFL, and that is concern a sad point, that is harassment. What is harassment? Can be psychological or mobbing or sexual or physical, and you have the definition here. So it's unethical, destructive way of reacting to a situation or behaving towards a person. Sexual harassment, comments, action. So it's important to note it's also verbal. What you say can be, of course, interpreted as harassment, or behavior, of course, related to a person's gender that are unwanted by the person to whom they are directed, and which adversely affect their well-being. So EPFL has a zero tolerance policy about this for all types of harassment, mobbing, sexual, psychological, whatever. And also for all types of situations. That applies also between yourselves as students, from student to student, from a student to assistant, to a professor and a student, and so on. Academic, administrative, technical staff, everybody is concerned. It's really quite general, and the consequences are a discipline investigation and for students and sanctions. I hope this will not happen, of course, but yeah, this is the message. I think it is important. What to do if, in the unfortunate case, if you witness inappropriate behavior, you can show your disapproval. That's the first point, and you can inform your class delegate or section. And if you are a victim, of course, you can show your disapproval. It's sometimes not enough, and we provide. The EPFL provides these 2 points here: go.pfl.ch, individual support or respect, the support network or counselors to whom you have access to. We have to solve the problem. It should not happen in the hopefully very unlikely case that this happens. We have these possibilities to solve the problem. Okay. I'm finished with my presentation. So if you have any more questions, it come to you. Also, maybe I should see if there is no from people who watch this online. You can also react either by switching on your microphone and speaking, or through the chat. Yes. It just disappears from the transcript. You withdraw, then it's just, you're not. Of course, you don't. I mean, if you withdraw, you cannot attend the exam. Then you will not get the credits. It will simply not appear anymore. To withdraw. Yes, with the deadline, within the deadlines that I mentioned. Yes. Yes. Normally, this is, I think, general rule all over the EPFL. Yeah. To withdraw, yes. That's 25th or 26th. 26, I think, is a Friday. I think it's a Friday. Yes. Oh, this card. I think it's Valérie Scherer, the person. Yes. Who is the? Yeah, Valérie Scherer-Bouzigar, your contact point at the physics section. She will tell you eventually whom to contact, but she can modify the access rights, for example, of your card and so on and so forth. You don't have the card yet? Yeah, but ask her, and she will know where. Yeah.
exam. Sort of like
No, no. Modifying the date of the exam is extremely difficult. Really. There are, of course, a few exceptions, but you cannot really change the date. This means changing the date for everybody. You cannot have the exam at another date of your fellow students. It must be all the same date. But if you are many, I mean, if it's a course on particle physics, I guess, and you are in CERN, maybe you are not the only students concerned by this. Maybe you can shift the date, but it's really, in general, quite difficult, unfortunately, to change the date of an exam. Yeah. I agree with you that for oral exam, it's easier for the professor to organize, but I'm not so sure that we want to enter into this, tell you frankly, because I mean, it's also difficult for the professors to, talk to your professor, and if he or she agrees, then fine. But yes, I would say it's really difficult to change the date. And anyway, it has to be within the official exam period. Anything that goes beyond that, this is not possible, because we have then meetings of the faculty for evaluation of the, within the section, and then with the school to approve. So we cannot postpone, for example, anything. No. No. Oh, that's a good question, and I don't know it. I could have a look at the memento, where is my memento, or academic calendar. So let's do it in English. Maybe it's written here. Oh, so we are in fall semester. So we are here. Mid-November, exam session timetable is published. Sometime in mid-November. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, are there any other questions also from the remote participants? No. Okay, you can always drop me an email. Easiest way to contact me. We as staff are approximately half time on campus and half time still home office. So, and this varies every week, is almost different, at least in my case. So it's better to drop me an email. Yes, we have more questions from the chat. Oh, all clear, thanks. Okay, thanks to you for participation. Okay, so that's it. So I hope you will enjoy your studies here, because it's still a special year, unfortunately, I would say, but fortunately, you will be able to enjoy it. So I wish you all the best, and yeah. Okay, so everything will be all right, as we say. There's the fourth wave of the pandemic, where we have surfed 3 waves. We can surf 4th, and I hope it's the last. But who knows? Anyway, it's a bit difficult, yeah. But at least most of the things should be allowed in presence, yeah, at least. And still an intermediate situation this semester with this certificate, which is required. Okay, I hope everything goes smoothly. Okay, all the best. So there is for you entertainment part. I think it's 3. Yes, you will be welcome. Where is the program? Yeah, it's here. Apéritif à la salle, somewhere. Okay, the person who somewhere PHH333. Okay, it's somewhere up there. Unfortunately, I cannot join you with this one. I have another meeting, but that's for you. Occasion to know each other and have a chat and a drink. Okay. So, all the best. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.